Hey everybody, this is Blackbird coming to you from the Blackbird Project. I accidentally called the show the Blackbird Podcast last time, so sue me, okay? It's a podcast. It was a little late. Maybe I was drinking a little bit during episode 1. Maybe I wasn't. You'll never know. You'll just never know. Maybe I had a beer. Perhaps it was 4 beers. That doesn't matter, everybody. I'm back, and in this episode, I have some new stuff coming at you. Today's day in the life of Blackbird is a story. This day in the life is about something that happened to me, I'd say about a week ago. Maybe shortly after I recorded the last episode 1, which was recorded on October 30th. I have no idea when you guys will hear it because episode 1, like this episode, is not out yet. And so yeah, this happened about a week ago or so. I was with my family and something kind of strange happened. So one thing I want to ask you guys is, before I tell this story, have you ever had the feeling that you are not alone or that someone is watching you? No. Have you ever had the feeling that someone is watching you? Because you have a feeling when someone looks at you, when you make eye contact with somebody, that's one thing. But that prolonged, inappropriate, that very uncomfortable eye contact that comes with stalking, watching your prey, that is a very bad feeling. Or in this instance, when you are someone else's prey, it's very terrifying. It kind of reminds me of a hawk looking for its next meal, flying over a field with field mice below, scurrying through the tall grass, running for their lives. That's a very dramatic way to open, but I just want to say that the story I wanted to share because it was very spooky. It was Halloween-esque. It kind of made sense that it happened around Halloween of this year, 2020. And I am not entirely surprised given everything that's been happening with the election and all the protests this year. It really has been a very messy year. If I could sum this year up in one type of weather, it would definitely be a storm. This year has been a complete storm. So many things have happened that are really inexplicable, however you say it, that really just made the skin crawl and give you goosebumps. So, without stalling any further, let me set the scene for you. It was Friday night, just past 10. I repeatedly argued that I didn't want to go to the grocery store so late at night. I'm sure this is common knowledge to most of you guys, but you really don't want to be caught at the grocery store really late at night, or any store for that reason, because sometimes that is the witching hour. And I don't mean just on Halloween. I mean every day of the year. When you're out in public and you're out at some ungodly hour, it really is dangerous. You have to be careful what you're doing when you're out so late at night. So naturally, I didn't want to go. I knew this would probably be a bad idea. I mean, nighttime is really kind of when all the crazies come out. As is often the case when arguing with a woman, though, I did not win. We drive down the same road that we always do. And I look in the rearview mirror and see a pair of headlights coming down the hill. There's nothing weird about that. There's lots of people on the road, even at night. The car merges left as it pulls up behind us. And then the car pulls up slowly next to us. Have you ever felt the feeling of someone watching you? I hope I'm not the only one. I turn left, and sure enough, a dude with a shaved head is watching us. I'm not gonna lie, this guy, he looked pretty sketchy, okay? He looked like he may have been a tweaker at one point or another. All right, let's be honest. He was a tweaker that night. Probably still is. Once a tweaker, always a tweaker. You know what they say. I'm pretty sure that's common knowledge. He makes eye contact with me, then looks away, then looks back at me. This kind of happens over and over until the light turns green. Our car goes straight across the intersection. His gray car goes left, seemingly up the highway, a very well-known highway in the town I live in. We go into the grocery store, and when we get to the register, I get a bad feeling, a sinking feeling, you might say. I look at the window, but it's completely tinted. I can't see through this grocery store window, but I feel like there's someone staring back at me. We exit the store and walk to the car. The bald guy from earlier is parked next to us, well over the line of the parking spot, waiting for us to return. He is sitting facing the store with 2 windows down, as if he wants to be able to hear our conversation when we come out. He might want to know if we're talking about him, which wouldn't be out of the question. It wouldn't be strange for us to be talking about him, because he's obviously following us. I knew earlier when we were at the intersection that we kind of had a moment where there was some kind of intense eye contact between me and him and the rest of my family. But when you encounter someone like this that's kind of strange, you never really know how far somebody's willing to take it. I didn't know that guy was going to be waiting outside of the grocery store for me and my family, trying to do God only knows what to us when we get back. I just knew that in my gut there was really kind of something up with this guy. He rubbed me the wrong way. Okay? He rubbed me the wrong way, which isn't that uncommon in my life. I mean, a lot of people rub me the wrong way. There's all kinds of people that I just probably wouldn't get along with and just don't get along with. I'm not biggest fan of meeting new people. And situations like this kind of show me why, because some people are batshit insane. We say something about him parking over the line because his car is so close to ours. He had to have almost hit it when he pulls in. I mean, it's almost like he's trying to get us to argue with him and maybe escalate it into a fight or something physical or something else. Who knows? But then he looks at us through one of the open windows, and it's strange. He's actually sitting with his left knee against his, like, you know, where your radio would be in your car near the driver's seat, and then with his right leg folded in such a way with his right foot over his left knee and his right knee on top of the center console. I thought that was really strange. He was obviously posturing and looking to make some sort of trouble. It was definitely a strange experience. Then he turns the car on, puts it in drive, and floors it, I'd say, probably about 75 feet away from us, forward into another row of parking spots in the parking lot. And then he turns around so that his headlights, which I think he turned his bright lights on, are facing us as we're trying to get into the car and loading the groceries in. It was very strange. It was something like a scene out of a movie with the crazy person, you know, their headlights, you know, casting such a bright light on you at nighttime. It really was like a movie. And but not a good movie, like maybe a thriller, a creepy movie. So yeah, that was not fun. Then we got in the car and we left, and honestly, I thought this guy was going to follow us all the way home. I had no idea what he might do, because, you know, if someone follows you one time, it wouldn't be ridiculous for them to follow you a second time. Yikes. So yeah, that was my week last week. It was a very weird experience, but I'm doing well. I'm enjoying doing this podcast for you guys, and I hope someone will enjoy it and find some sort of entertainment in this, whatever you call this podcast. I hope you guys like it. Next, I want to talk to you guys about a news story that really kind of, in a way was personal to me because I'm a subscriber to this subscription service. I honestly think a lot of you are subscribers to this service. It has to be the most popular subscription service in the world, or U.S., at least the U.S. I don't know about the world. I think this is something that you guys might want to hear about, and not something I heard on TV, is the fact that Netflix recently announced that it is raising its U.S. subscription prices again. I'll let that sink in. It's really just kind of a kick to the groin when you think about it. I mean, Netflix is already getting, I think, more than enough money from people a month, and here they are doing a slight increase. I mean, yeah, it's slight, but money is money. I mean, even a slight increase like this is a big deal, and especially for some people who don't have a lot of money, it's a very minor increase, but it's still it's an increase. And what I wonder is, given this sort of increase, what are we going to get in addition to what Netflix was already putting online? Like, what is the perk to paying this increased subscription service when, to my knowledge, nothing about Netflix is changing? They just wanted to raise the subscription service, they say, for new content like original movies and films, but only time will tell. Yeah, only time will tell. And I also will say, this also comes, I'd say a month and a half or 2 months after Netflix announces that they were doing price hikes in Australia. So this is crazy. I mean, they just increased subscription prices in Australia in September. Now, I think the story was from, that I got this information from, was from around November 1st or 2nd. And so now in early November, they're doing a price hike in the U.S. Market. So this is really kind of annoying. I love Netflix. It's almost like these days, because of how much better streaming is, it's like you can't do without some of these streaming services. And Netflix is definitely one of them. I think Netflix is probably the best one that I've ever used. I don't know if it's the best one out there, but definitely the best one I've ever had the pleasure of using. And even though I am throwing dirt on Netflix's name right now, talking about the fact that they just did a price hike, like I said, it is only on 2 of the 3 tiers of their subscription. The standard plan will increase by $1, and the premium plan will be increased by $2. So that's not good, Netflix. I don't like that you just raise those prices. $1 or $2 is $1 or $2. You know, most people really don't have any money saved, especially now during the pandemic. And I know that some people, you might be, they have an abysmal checking account. Okay. It's sad. There's nothing on there. All right. No one likes looking at their checking account and seeing anywhere from, at the max, $100 all the way down to a negative balance on their card, bro. Man, that negative balance is tough. But like I said, I mean, some people don't have a lot of money, so $1 or $2 is a lot of money for some people, and especially these days where a lot of people aren't working. I think it's kind of annoying. It's like this COVID inflation that's going on. Everything's being increased. But the other thing I want to mention is that Netflix, I don't like this price hike, but I do like you as a company. So even if you hear this and you think I'm being critical of you, I will still play in a Netflix movie if you ever want to hire me. Oh man, I'm serious though, really, guys. If you hear this podcast and you want me to be in a movie or in a Netflix television original, I will do that. I will do that for you guys as a company, and I will do that for my fans. Not because it's a dream of mine to be on a Netflix TV show or movie, but because I'm doing it for Netflix and the fans. Like I said, I mean, back to the story. This is the second price hike in less than 2 years for Netflix. I believe the last one was around January. Yeah, it was January 2019. At least that's what my sources say. That's not a long time. That's like 1 year and 10 months or less, and there's already a price increase. So that's that's pretty rapid for the prices to change so quickly now. I just definitely don't like that. I mean, I think you should leave it at the price that it already is. It shouldn't be increased all the time. Although I will say, like I said, 2 of the 3 plans have increased, but the basic plan, which is that 480p resolution plan is still $8.99 a month. So that's a great price. I think that's an awesome price for all the stuff you get to see on Netflix, but it just is lacking in, I think, the ability to stream on more than one device, and which is a bad feature. And the other downside to that basic plan is that low 480 resolution. 480 is kind of ridiculous in this day and age. I mean, it's 2020, almost 2021. 480 resolution. I think they should really raise the resolution on the basic plan, because even for $9, that's kind of a raw deal. Yeah, hopefully Netflix increases that resolution on the basic one at some point in the future. Like I said, the fact that the price increases are becoming so common means that Netflix really is flexing its muscle. Netflix knows that it is the best streaming service out there. And what are you going to do? What, are you going to go? You're going to go to Hulu? They do a price increase? No, you're not. Are you going to go to Disney Plus because Netflix did a price increase? No, you're not. I forgot that other one, but what are you going to do? What is that new one? Is it Peacock? I don't know. I can't remember. What, are you going to go to Peacock or something if Netflix does a price increase? No, you won't. You're staying with Netflix. So we're all just going to have to live with that and suffer a little bit together with that price increase. And yeah, like I said, I mean, it does appear minor, but it makes me think that this definitely won't be the last price increase for Netflix. This part of the show is the part that I do a recommendation. I had a name for this segment, but it escapes me right now. And of course it would, because I am live, baby. I am recording in my little rinky-dink home studio. I want to talk about a product this week. Last week I talked about Dragon Ball Durag by Thundercat being my recommendation. This week I'm recommending you guys a product, and there is no telling what I will do in this third segment of the show. All you know, Blackbird listeners, is that I will recommend something, either some sort of media or a product that I really enjoy, and I'm really just trying to put you guys up on game. I want you guys to know what is worth your time and what you should be doing or what you should be buying. I'm gonna let you guys know. And if any of these companies hear these reviews, or not reviews, these recommendations, please contact me. I definitely need a sponsor so I can make some money and move out of my very shitty apartment. Moving on. As you guys know, I rant a lot. I digress. I want to start with talking about the fact that this product wasn't something that I found on my own. I really found this because of my brother. And so I want to thank my brother. I'm not going to say his real name, but his real name rhymes with Ryan. He is kind of a weird guy, and he has some sort of abnormal fear of paper, and including toilet paper. Yeah, I mean, I'm weird, but I'm not that weird, so it makes me feel good about myself. Yeah, he doesn't like toilet paper, so because of that, he uses wet wipes. And, whenever he goes number 2, and maybe even when he goes number 1, I don't know. I don't think anybody's using wet wipes to wipe their, after they piss, but maybe somebody's doing it. I mean, like I said, he loves wipes because he doesn't use toilet paper. And one day when he came to visit me, it was about, I think it was probably, it could have been 6 months or more ago, but maybe in the spring. But yeah, he came to visit us because he lives out of town, and he has, I think, a present for his twin brother. He opens the door, and when he opens the door, I see a bag on his seat. When he picks the bag up off of his seat, what's on the bottom of the seat? Under the bag, it's a pack of dude wipes. And if you guys haven't heard of dude wipes, you definitely need to check them out. They're basically the most manly way to clean your butt when you're done going poo, when you're done dropping stool. You know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're doing that dirty business. All right? Dude wipes, they're the kind of that backdoor man. They clean you up when you're done. So I didn't think anything of it. But then I was at the grocery store, and I was buying wipes because sometimes I use wipes in the bathroom too. I'm sure there are lots of guys that do it. That's another thing. Guys, if any of you use wipes in the bathroom, I want you to comment below. Let me know if you use them, how often, and what kind of wipes are you rolling with, okay? What kind of wipes are your go-to in the bathroom when you're trying to go to? All right. You know what I'm talking about. I'm definitely not sponsored by Dude Wipes, but I do want to be sponsored by Dude Wipes because I use a lot of those babies. I know that's pretty much TMI, but honestly, this whole podcast could be chalked up to TMI. I mean, you never know what's going to happen on the Blackbird project. You really don't. Even I don't even know. But like I said, I mean, these wipes are incredible, and I use them all the time. So now I'm just going to go over and read you guys a little bit from the website. And I want to say the thing I really like about Dude Wipes is that it is kind of hyper masculine, even down to the packaging. I mean, it comes in a black bag with kind of like white and blue font on it, so it is very manly, you know, with that blue and the black color scheme, because Dude Wipes are only for men, real men. Okay, ladies, if you see these in the aisle where you find toilet paper and wipes, I mean, just walk the other way. Stay away from our Dude Wipes. Let us have something to ourselves, okay? Just let us have the Dude Wipes. I mean, on the packaging, let's see, it says, I think it's something ridiculous. I think I saw it. I don't know, but it's basically like made by dudes for dudes is essentially the idea. And and what's cool is you get 48 wipes. 48. That means you could take 48 dumps and wipe yourself clean. I mean, like squeaky clean, baby, every time. And flush one of these bad boys down the toilet. Now, it does say on the website that they're flushable wipes made with plant-sourced fibers, which is interesting. I wonder what plant-sourced fibers means exactly. Other thing is, yeah, I try to flush them. Sometimes they flush, sometimes they don't. So flushable, that's debatable. That's debatable, okay? That's very debatable. And then it also says 25% larger than your average flushable wipe. They are pretty big when you pull them out of the bag. I mean, they're kind of amazing. They unfold, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's like when you get fast food and your sandwich or your burger's all wrapped up in paper, and then you unfold it and the paper gets bigger as you unfold it. That's kind of what happens with your Dude Wipes. You pull them bad boys out of the bag, you know, they're one size, but then you start to unfold them and they're even bigger. So then you got even more surfaced area to clean up all of your bathroom messes, all right? Because guys, you don't want to be walking around, all right, with stuff on your butt, okay? It's just true. You don't want to walk around with little dingleberries clinging to your butthole, all right? Because those dingleberries, they're going to get everywhere in your clothes. I mean, if you don't get everything off, you know, if you don't really clean your butt thoroughly when you're done taking a number two, that you're going to pull your pants up, and guess what? Your underwear are in direct contact with dingleberries. Dingleberries are going to cover your underwear. Do you want streaks? Do you want streaks? Is that what you really want? Are you guys crazy? I hope my listeners aren't that crazy. You don't want streaks, okay? So in order to avoid those streaks, you need to go out and get you some Dude Wipes. That's all I got to say. Go out and get you some Dude Wipes. Just stop. Just go. Go right now. Go to the store and buy the largest quantity of Dude Wipes that is possible. If you see a whole row that they just put out, the guy who was doing the stocking, he just put it out, buy that whole row, baby. Because I'm telling you, you get used to using these things and you'll be surprised by how many you use. I mean, like I said, they come with 48. But, I mean, sometimes, you know, especially if you eat a lot of, I'm not trying to be that guy, but really you eat a lot of Mexican food, you know, you're basically going to be buying Dude Wipes every week. Yeah, the Mexican food will get you, okay? So you really got to be careful. You eat some spicy food, maybe you eat some curry, and it's really going to run you to the bathroom. So you guys, these Dude Wipes they're really kind of a necessity. It's better. I believe them when they say it's better than toilet paper. I kind of agree with that. And then it also says that the wipes are made with naturally soothing aloe vera and vitamin E. So they're gentle on your sensitive sides and will leave you feeling refreshed and ready for the day. So, like I said, do you want a fresh butt? You guys brush your teeth every day, but how often do you use a wipe on your butt to make sure your butt is fresh, okay? Come on, fellas. If you got a date, or even if you got a girlfriend, or, you got a wife or fiance, do you want her to smell your stinky butthole? Is that what you want? No, you don't want that. You want to be smelling good. You want to be fresh everywhere you go. You don't want streaks, okay? These dude wipes are pretty much anti-streak. They should call them anti-streak technology, because that's exactly what they are. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. The only other thing I want to do is I want to say that I'm doing a new segment sometimes at the end of the show, and it's called Blackbird's List of Gratitude. And today's item, the first item on my list of gratitude, is definitely my microphone and my podcasting equipment that I bought recently. I am very grateful for all this stuff, because this enables me to have a voice and enables me to put this show out there online. I hope you guys like it. I hope this episode wasn't too shitty. That's a dad joke. I should have done that. Okay. But like I said, I'm grateful for all this stuff, all this podcasting equipment, and I will be getting a new microphone. I know this microphone isn't perfect. It doesn't sound great. It was super quiet the last episode. I apologize. Profusely. So yeah, thanks for listening to this episode. I was about to say watching, but this is an audio podcast. If you don't already know that, which you probably do, because you will likely just see a picture of my ugly mug on the screen. Like I said, thank you guys so much for listening to the second episode. And remember, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. But if you mess with the bird, you get the beak.